Yo, 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 what's up, LA Live Gang? This is your boy AC, and I'm back with another kind of sort of breaking news edition of LA Sports Live. As you guys come into the video, do me a favor, go ahead and hit that like button. It really helps the channel, and I really appreciate it. And if you're new to the channel, you just found a brother, go ahead and subscribe. And while you at it, make sure you hit that notification bell so you'll be notified every day when we drop new videos here on YouTube. Now, you guys see the thumbnail. You see the title. Let's get straight to it. According to Bleacher Report, I guess, fresh off the Donovan Mitchell trade of yesterday, the blockbuster Donovan Mitchell trade of yesterday. Of course, Donovan Mitchell moving on from the Utah Jazz to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Fresh up that big trade, we speculated that the Lakers may be one of many teams that are interested in the many veteran players that the Utah Jazz currently have on their roster. We were speaking on the Utah Jazz current roster on how I believe it's either 17 or 18 players that the Utah Jazz currently have under contract, and of course, once camp closes, they can only have 15 guaranteed guys under contract. So, make a long story short, the Jazz, hey, they got to get rid of some people. They got to get rid of some guys. And this report that just came out kind of substantiates some of our thinking, some of our speculation that there are a lot of teams interested in the veteran players of the Jazz. And this report confirms, excuse me, that the Lakers are indeed one of those teams. According to the report, courtesy of Bleacher Report. Let me pull it up. Here real quick. And this comes from Mike Singer. Mike Singer. He's associated with Bleacher Report. And he says, I've checked with numerous people today, i.e. who might be interested in the Jazz veteran players. And one team has come up multiple times, the Lakers. The Lakers have some interest, I'm told, in the Jazz vets who could be traded. Mike Conley, Jordan Clarkson, and Bojan Bogdanovic. But the Lakers also want to preserve cap space for next summer and aren't that interested in taking contracts beyond 2022, 2023. Bogdanovic is the only player amongst those three mentioned that is currently on an expiring contract. His contract will expire after the upcoming season. Now, in that article, they specifically mentioned Bogdanovic, Conley, and Clarkson. You guys know the Lakers, they do have a plan. Now, they do want to improve the team. They do want to get rid of Russ. Russ is on an expiring $47 million contract. So they want to make that move, but what Rob wants to do is he wants to preserve the cap space moving forward. I repeat, Rob Pelinka and the Lakers organization, they want to preserve cap space moving forward, meaning past the upcoming season. So right now, as it stands right now, the Lakers only have, I think it's 3 players under contract past next season. That would be LeBron James. They had 4, but they traded THT. Well, THT possibly could have been under contract because he had an option. But anyhow, past the 2022-23 season, the Lakers only have, to my knowledge, 3 players under contract. Of course, LeBron, Anthony Davis, and Damian Jones, I believe, has a player option. That's it. Everybody else will be free agents, and that's including newly acquired Pat Beverly. So the Lakers so far have kind of stayed with that program on keeping the books clear past 2023. But if they do a deal with Utah, like I said, Bogdanovic is the only player mentioned in that group who's currently on expiring deal. Let me take a look at Mike Conley. Mike Conley, see, the bad thing about it is Mike Conley has an additional year remaining on his contract at 24.3 million. And also something to keep in mind, I don't think the Lakers need another point guard, but 24.3 million, that's nothing to sneeze at. But and I know Mike Conley had a good season last year. He played most of the games and was solid. But the thing is, Mike Conley's going to be 36 next season, man. That's not that's not what the Lakers need, man. Mike Conley, season after next, will be 36 years old. Like I said, over $20 million remaining on that one more year left on his deal. That's not what the Lakers want to do, man. That's not what the Lakers going to do. So I don't see the Lakers going for Mike Conley. Let's look at Jordan Clarkson's deal. Now, Jordan Clarkson, of course, the former Laker, he got his start with the Lakers. He was drafted by the Lakers, and Jordan was JC was actually traded to the Cavs, right? He was traded to the Cavs to eventually make room for LeBron James the following season to make cap space. But anyhow, we'll look at JC's contract obligations, and we'll see that he indeed also has another year remaining on his contract past the 2023 season. He's on the books for the 2023-2024 season at $14 million. That's not too bad. And believe it or not, going into that season, JC, he'll be 31 years old. So JC is starting to get up there a little bit also in age. So I don't think that's a direction that the Lakers want to move in. I heard Rudy Gay, maybe one of the veterans on Utah, that the Lakers might be interested, but hell, he's even older than that. So I don't know, man. It's going to be a lot of willing and dealing, guys. It's going to be a lot of willing and dealing. If you ask me, right? If you ask me, what is the source of this report from Bleacher Report? If you ask me who's behind it, I think this came from the Lakers. I think this was leaked from the Lakers. And the reason why I say that is, if you've been following the situation, if you've been following the Lakers, if you're familiar with the Lakers and their approach this offseason and the things that they said publicly about how they want to build their roster, man, they're not interested in taking in contracts that go past the 2023 season, unless it's for sure a player that they want to continue with and the contract is manageable. And Mike Conley, that wouldn't be an easy contract to move. JC, it's not horrible, okay? That $14 million from JC is not horrible, and that's somewhat doable. But the thing is, JC, the Lakers probably feel they have younger versions of Jordan Clarkson. And what would be the point of acquiring Jordan Clarkson when you feel like you got younger versions of Jordan Clarkson already on the roster? And, if you bring in JC, you would be denying them on playing time. That's the way I see it. And probably the way the Lakers see it. And then plus you got those guys all at a cheaper price. So I don't see that coming into play. The good thing about JC is he is kind of a combo guard. He can handle the ball. You guys remember when he was with the Lakers originally that they did use him as a point guard. But that's kind of the thing with JC. In order for him to be effective, he does need the ball. And we know going into this season, Darvin Ham says he primarily wants LeBron James, the ball in LeBron James' hands, most of the time. Then whoever ends up being LeBron's backup, then that person has the ball. But I just don't see Mike Conley, man. I just don't see that in the Lakers' plans. And Jordan Clarkson, maybe that might be a situation where they'll take him if they have to. But I don't really think that's a situation they're interested in. Like I said a little bit earlier, I just really think this is a story that's just getting leaked out by the Lakers to Bleacher Report, an attempt to put more pressure on the Indiana Pacers, for them to straighten up and fly right, and to finally negotiate in good faith. Because I really do think the players that the Lakers do favor would be to acquire the players from the Indiana Pacers, that being Buddy Hield and Miles Turner. Even though Buddy Hield does have an extra year, excuse me, remain on his contract, but that's a player that the Lakers actively want, right? That's a player that they actively want. Miles Turner, he would be a free agent, and my understanding is that if the Lakers were to acquire him, they will not make any promises as far as a re-sign, or no extension will be offered. The Lakers are just kind of like, okay, if we trade for you, that does mean we believe in you. We're giving up picks for you, but we're not going to make any guarantees as far as telling you you're going to get a contract and telling you you're going to get extension or anything like that. Lakers have done nothing of the sort and made no promises. So again, that's kind of a situation where the Lakers are kind of taking the chance, but high risk, high reward. Just something like myself and Lakers over everything we're discussing. And something I heard that in the Kareem report, something I heard Kareem say, look, man, just the thought. This is a thought. And I know this is something that's in the Lakers' head as well, because we know, look, the Lakers have had several all-star, several championship caliber big men in their history. And the thought of having Anthony Davis and Miles Turner in the Lakers front court playing defense, blocking everybody's shot. I mean, I think the Lakers just really, really want to just give that a try. I think they want to give that a try and see how that works, because the way as everything goes right now, the way this team is formulated, if they make no further deals, even if they don't acquire Miles Turner and Buddy Hield, they're gonna have to hang their hat on defense, because it's not a well-blessed team offensively speaking. They're not polished shooters. Nobody's polished shooters on this team is currently constructed. So hanging their hat on the defensive end is something it looks like this team is going to have to do, whether or not they make a trade or not. And certainly if they don't make a trade, hanging their hat on the defense is something this team is going to have to do, man. So I want to bring that breaking news to you guys. You guys do me a favor, man. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe on the videos, man. Make sure you do that. It really helps the channel out, and I really appreciate it. Now, also, we have I got a special announcement coming up. We're going to start a new series on the channel. We're going to start a new series on the channel. It's going to start next week. It's going to start next week. Let me pull up my video so you guys can see what I'm talking about here.
Brand new Las Vegas residency.
Okay, what we're going to do on this channel, guys, is I'm going to start doing a few collaborations. We got the first one lined up for next week. There's a lot of YouTubers, a lot of content creators doing Laker coverage, right? A lot of people doing it. Myself, you guys, there's just a number of guys out there, and I check out everybody. I support everybody. I'm cool with everybody. But I think what we need to do is just kind of come together, talk about it, and get everybody's opinion on things. And that's something I'm interested in doing, is collaborating with other YouTubers. So basically, we're going to have our first collab coming up on Monday at 5 p.m. I'll put it up on the community tab. We'll probably do a preview video. But our first collab this coming Monday at 5 p.m. will be with As It Stands Lakers podcast. I repeat, our first collab will be with the As It Stands Lakers podcast. Good Laker content. My man over there, he really blew up over the off season. He has two channels. We'll talk about it when he comes on, but he has two channels. He has the As It Stands podcast, and he has the As It Stands Laker podcast. But he does a really good job, man, on those podcasts. He gives really good insight into the NBA and the Lakers. Excellent coverage of the Lakers. He's been all over this, man. He's been all over this since the offseason started, especially when all the rumors with Kyrie Irving started down in Vegas. The man, he was all over it. So we're going to kick off the collabs with the As It Stands Lakers podcast this coming Monday, 5 p.m. right here live on LA Sports Live. I'm really, man, happy. My man committed to it, and we're gonna set this thing off with a great collab starting next week. We got other people jockeying for position who want to jump into this, man. But we're probably gonna do one a week. But I think it would be proper to start it off with the As It Stands Lakers podcast. Can't wait. It's gonna be dope, and you guys got to be here, man. You got to be here to come check it out, man. I've had other people on before, of course, had other people on the podcast, but specifically when we do this one on Monday, we're gonna have one basic topic, and the topic is going to be the state of the LA Lakers, the current state of the LA Lakers. So whatever the current state of the LA Lakers is going to be, is what we're going to talk about. If anything else major jumps off between now and Monday, we'll talk about it. But like I said, man, I'm really excited about this collab. Can't wait. And I need you guys' support, man. Need you guys' support. Make sure you show up next Monday at 5 p.m. right here on LA Sports Live. But anyway, guys, I got to wrap up this stream. Got to get back to work. I appreciate you guys coming through. Salute to everybody in the chat. I really hope. Yeah, man, the Lakers need to figure something out, man. I don't think it's the Lakers, bro. I don't think it's the Lakers. I think the Lakers are just really having a little bit of difficulty dealing with some of these other teams. And the Lakers they just kind of put their foot down and said, look, if we feel like we're being dealt with unfairly, we're not going to just take any deal just to take a deal. So I really think that's what that's all about, man. But anyway, guys, we're going to end the stream now. I appreciate you guys, and we'll see you later.